All right, man. Season 6, episode 19. This is the PreGame podcast. Yes, we got legends with the 6. We got legends, man.
Cultural shifters.
Big shot. Cultural movers, shakers, connections.
Changes
you know
of
what
the
I mean?
elements of the city.
Talking to people we don't even know.
Legendary figures in the city.
For sure, man.
Somebody who's
And beyond.
always where you're at somehow.
Every single time.
Oh, I know him.
Hey, look, Steve's over there.
There you go. But nah, man. Shout out to Steve, man. Pitch for Pennies, man. Creator, founder,
Curator
of Lari Pati.
Yeah,
It's still Lari, right? Lari Pati.
Lari Pati.
Yeah, people call it Lari Pati even
They do.
out
That's
of
what it
town,
is,
which
yeah.
is kind of crazy. But yeah, Lari Pati.
What you forgot? You ain't put no accent marks on it. You didn't
No.
give niggas inklings that they should be talking special.
I forgot we're American.
Yep.
Yeah.
You need some tildes or some shit on there.
Sure.
Make niggas know that they gotta say it differently somehow.
Indeed.
Because it's Derry, Larry, and Patty right now.
You gotta help us out. But nah, man, where can everybody find you?
Oh, Pitch for Pennies personally, and laripati.com on Instagram, literally .com. So LARIPATIDOTCOM. So yeah.
And at this point, you've been there. You've been to one.
It's weird. It's weird if you haven't.
At least 3 or 4 or 5.
Strange.
So
I've
you know where to
never
go.
had the pleasure.
You know what he's talking about. That's crazy.
You
You
came
have
to the
not.
outdoor one.
Nope.
Damn.
Wow.
Something usually comes up, or
I'm
it's on
sorry to hear
Friday.
that.
Either
Friday
way.
nights, yeah.
I tried to go to the very first one, but it got snowed out.
Oh yeah, that's so long.
Yeah,
ago.
you got
long
it back
time
in
ago.
blood.
You did get it back in blood.
I mean, thanks to the
For sure.
people, city of Indianapolis.
Indeed, man. All right, man. We always start off every single pregame podcast interview with the pregame podcast pop quiz.
Pop quiz.
Steve, we're gonna ask you a flurry of questions. Also, man, round of applause for Steve, man. This ain't his first time on the pregame podcast.
Oh, thank you.
Not everybody gets to spin
Everybody
the
gets a second time.
Yeah, niggas did not get to spin the
Yeah,
block.
if you spin the block, you're a big deal.
But we figured you just talked to him the first time, so that shit didn't really count.
Indeed.
Yeah, I wasn't with the
Nope.
crew.
Nah, you was at my crib actually.
Yeah, you got the warm up.
Yup,
That was
for
fun.
sure.
So, pregame pop quiz. If you can throw an event anywhere in the world, any venue, where would it be?
Me?
Yes.
Damn. Any event, any place in the world. Honestly, I would do it at Bankers. Like, I think maybe because I grew up playing basketball.
Cambridge,
and
brother. Respect the marketing.
Sorry, Pacers.
Don't fuck your own. No,
Cambridge Fieldhouse now.
Cambridge Fieldhouse.
I would say definitely there because of the concerts I've been to, particularly the St. Pablo tour, and that was like
That was
Yeah,
my
that shit
eyes.
was
What
amazing.
a great time.
to see like, oh, you can do stuff here, and so I would say that would probably be the number one place.
Wow.
That
a
is
bad
still
seat in
crazy
the
to think
house.
about. Ye really opened his tour up here.
Yup,
Yeah.
before
We had the best one.
Before
Minimal
he started, 'cause
ranting.
he started losing his mind and shit
before he
like
started
that.
spasming, had a manic episode.
They were starting to get worried about the stage because niggas were running underneath the stage and shit like that. it was a lot, but he made like nosebleed seats matter.
It was fire,
It
man.
was literally eye level.
Eye
It
level to
was
the niggas
crazy.
in the middle. Shout
And
out
the
to Ye.
floor was crazy.
I wasn't down there. It
Travis
was-
Scott running
Yeah.
around.
Yeah,
Wild
man.
shit.
The stage moving and like
Yeah.
people moving with the stage.
Yeah, it was an experience.
An accident waiting to happen.
Yeah, but it didn't.
Indeed.
And they didn't. And then they played the ultralight beam music. And then
Because niggas skip here,
then,
he didn't.
Then the lights came on and niggas had to go home.
Yeah.
That was it, and I was fulfilled.
So I'm gonna do a throwback question, man. Any superpower you could have, what would that be?
Teleportation.
Mm.
I think traveling is something that actually led to Lari being a thing, but also the world is way bigger than, say, airplanes and train can allow us. So if I can just go to the Maldives one day or go to North Pole one day, you know, just experience all that life has to offer, that would be the dream.
That's a great
Dream
answer.
superpower.
Yeah, that's fire, man.
You want to
Shout
see
out
that
to
slave
protection.
labor up there?
Where at North Pole?
Yeah.
You think it's slave labor? Christmas joke.
Yeah.
Got you.
My bad.
That
I
should
know
be an
what you was getting
Atlanta episode.
That'd be crazy.
That would be crazy,
No.
for sure. If you
That
believe
niggas
in
just be funny, man.
Santa and those elves.
It would be funny.
Nah, it'd be sad. They're dying and shit. Elves with one arm. It'd be dark. So.
It would be fucked up. All right, man. So, Steve, I know you're very pro nap. So I know you go to a lot of different places and you travel and you speak to people and You know, you building culture other places with Indianapolis, you know, at the front of what you're trying to do. What is the first thing you say when somebody says like, oh, you know, you from that? Like, how do you describe the city to somebody else? How would you do that?
I would say Indianapolis is like a blank canvas, and if you come here to visit, or especially if you live here, it's like you have the opportunity to shape your own experience, as opposed to other bigger cities where it's like it's kind of fixed. Like they already have their networks, all they have their infrastructure. Here is you have the opportunity to build and add, splash of color, add your perspective to the overall culture here. So
that's a great answer.
Yeah,
that's fire, man. Let's move on, man. Round of applause for Steve, man. Pitch for pennies in the building, man. Early too, Sunday mornings.
Yeah, niggas' eyes are puffy.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. I'm drinking coffee right now.
Man.
All right, man. Listen, so I know you've been back in the city for a long time now, and I remember first meeting you. Shout out to Quality, man. I met you.
Yeah.
You was like, hey, man, check out my playlist. You know what I mean? I could tell you were already engaged, and I knew something big was coming. What kind of brought you to the idea of trying to make a Lari Pati?
Oh, man. So, long story less long, 2017, me and my roommate Bryce, we were going out, Fountain Square, downtown, Ripple, all the places you have it. And we had to pick and choose.
Bryce Grimes? Okay, just make
Bryce Rainey. Shout out to you. We were like going out all the time, and then fast forward, we was like, yo, some places we'll go, the music be cool, and the girls will be what we into. And other places, the girls will be not what we into, but the music will be cool. Right, so it was like
they try to put that thing on you.
Yeah, so it was like you had to pick and choose where you was, your spot.
Do not back that ass up.
Yes, keep it over there.
And on top of that, we would, before we go out, we'll pregame and like we'll play new music or anything on SoundCloud or whatever released that day, and we will go out thinking we're going to hear it, and we wouldn't. And so it wasn't to a point where like Uzi had a concert here. Crazy Enough was on my birthday, and it was probably after XO Tour Life came out. It wasn't like as big as it was soon to be.
Right.
But we went to the concert, and it was like, yo, why don't we have this energy here? Because that night we went out, and that's when they started playing their music. Mind you, there was like 3 months that the song had been out. So I was like, this doesn't make any sense. New music comes out every Friday.
You wanted all your friends to be dead too. I feel it.
I just want to be hype, but it's like, it just didn't make any sense. Like, why you don't play new music. So the next month, I woke up, I was like, yo, I'm going to just try to do a party. I never done anything like this. I'm not like a super popular person, but I figure like at least got to try to see for myself, and it don't work out, then at least I tried. So that's
to your earlier point though, it's like you mentioned, everybody has it's like a blank canvas, but I don't think DJs up until recently were granted that freedom to like play in those areas. I feel like Indianapolis, when it comes to music, they want the big shit. They don't want to hear some stuff that's not new or up and coming. Like, play me Drake, my nigga. Yeah.
But that's the thing I learned.
Run the Boosie again.
Over the years.
You're not wrong.
I learned that over the years, it's not the DJ's fault. It's really the venue, whoever the GM or the owner, what their vision is. And a lot of DJs, you'll hear one DJ at, say, a vacation, and their music will sound totally different if they go to, I don't know, Illusions or Red Room or something. Okay. Based on what kind
of freedoms they're granted.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I was like, wow. When I was educated on that, I was like, oh, it changed my whole perspective of like, people be like sometimes outside looking in be like, oh, this DJ is not good, or this music's not it for me.
Right.
It's really not up to the DJ, because you'll put that DJ in a different context, like a Lari, where they could just play whatever they want to do. Now you see them in a different light, but if you only go to those particular places, you can have one perspective.
You only gonna be wiping it down.
Yeah, so I had to realize with that, when it comes to music here, it's just based on what people, what they're allowed to do.
We swag serving for an eternity. The wave never ends.
I like it though.
I like it too.
It hits a certain
in moderation.
Yeah.
Yes.
And also, I've seen, like, I talk to people, like, I'm like, damn, nah, he don't really play the new shit. We don't want to hear that. And so, and I definitely, your point about, the venues, I get that. But sometimes, like, the people, like, let's have my guy, and I go such and such every week, and I post it every week. They might value my opinion, maybe. You know what I mean? And I've literally had, like, almost arguments with people, like, no, we don't want to hear. To me, over the past year or so, one of the biggest waves is, like, the Detroit rap, the Detroit shit, big fire. I don't want to hear that Detroit shit when I go out. Oh, but you want to hear Mr. Biggs every time, which is, I love Mr. Biggs. Back in 1995, that's my shit. I don't necessarily have to hear it every time I go out. But some people feel like they're not as failed if they don't hear that. It's weird.
I feel like at the same time, I think, Mitch, going back to your blank canvas statement that you made, you had opportunity to retrain the city or train the city again with accepting new sounds. Because I remember the first time I went to a lot, I said, oh, this is definitely my type of party compared to the other. Not saying I didn't have fun at the other events in the city, but it's definitely, I think people dress a particular way. You go to Lari, you know what I mean? You can tell what they may be interested in. You can tell, like, okay, I might hear some old Lil Wayne. I might hear something new, you know what I mean? So I appreciate that aspect of it. With that being said, I want to ask you, I know you're very passionate about music in general. So where does that come from? If you follow Steve, he gonna mention this. He might even compare, say somebody better than Michael Jackson. You never know what he may say or do when it comes to music and loving music. So where does that come from? Where did that start for you?
MySpace. Like, growing up, like, being on MySpace when I was in the middle school.
Which MySpace did you get? Did you get the real true MySpace? Or did you get the music MySpace?
This was like true MySpace. It's like 2006.
Okay, I was just making sure because I'm trying to gauge because there's a second MySpace. Don't nobody use that MySpace.
Let's just say,
but it's based on music.
The first song I had on my page was Lil Scrappy, Money in the Bank.
That's a good ringtone.
Okay.
Oh wow.
And then I found Lil Wayne's all the leaks and all the drought came out, and that's when I was like,
legendary stuff.
I need everything.
G-Unit Lil Scrappy was a little error in there.
But
it was
before. But then it was like I had prostitute, was it Flames on my
nobody but Lil Wayne know how to say that word.
That's a banger.
It is.
It's classic.
That's in his
catalog. You had it on your page though?
Yeah, like a Kobe Bryant customized. I was really a coder. Like, I think everybody who had MySpace were like,
yeah, we was
privy to coders.
Silicon Valley before Silicon Valley for sure.
UX grad chapter.
So yeah, music was just like relax. The music part was like discovering new music, so you could find like other people's pages and like find that. Let me snatch that, and people have like whole playlists on there. Like the music pages.
Yeah, if you stay on the page for 30 minutes, you'd hear seven.
So that was kind of like my the gateway to like music discovery, and on top of that, LimeWire was a thing.
Yo.
So we didn't really have like, I'm sure Dat Piff was around, but we wasn't really getting music from there. It was like, yo, you hear about this from somewhere else.
Yep, gotta go download it.
Let me download it.
We were slow hustling back then because we weren't getting full projects. We were literally seeking out songs or portions of songs.
Half a song.
Yeah.
We only
just the Wayne verse.
Whatever your avenue to listen to it was, you only had what 128. You didn't have no gig. You know what I mean? You had limited space. You might get 60 songs on here.
I used to
before
watch
like the iPod.
I used to watch school listening to ringtones on my way to school. Like 30-second clip. I'll clip it to my book bag. I had a flip phone. I'll clip my book bag and I'll play like 45 seconds of songs.
Tony Stark
in rotation.
He was a DJ at an early age.
Yeah, I had no choice. That's all I could get.
It's crazy, man.
And that's what kind of like led me to like find more music, and the mixtapes. Like, that was the thing. So was fast forward to like high school, it was like, oh, Dat Piff was the thing. So Wiz, Crit, Currency, that whole wave, Wale.
What a time.
And so that was kind of got my itch of like, I always wanted to be first. And it really got me on that whole kick was like getting fresh in high school was like, we wanted to stand out. Like, you wanted to make sure you had shoes that no one had, clothes that no one had.
It was a thing.
So that was kind of like in tandem where when I got older, it was like, all right, this is just a part of the culture. Like, if you're going to be dressing the part, you got to listen to the new stuff. And so that's kind of what kind of led it. But now, as the current saying, like, my whole itch is just like hearing different things. Like I have like ADHD, to be honest, so I get bored with things really easily. So like I want to always. That also doesn't help at all as far as finding new stuff.
I think we all have a feeling of that nowadays, but yours is probably heightened for sure. So I do want to ask, so like, what so far this year, what albums getting like repetitive spins from you?
Ooh, 2022. I already tell.
And it's not even so much saying like it's your favorite album. It's just like what do you find yourself going back to?
Lucky Day for sure. His new project Candy Drip, Pusha T that just came out. That's gonna be. I'm gonna live with that for a minute.
I haven't had the pleasure yet.
Gunna.
Are you serious?
Tomorrow. I'm spending it all day tomorrow.
Gunna for sure.
Salute the Gunna.
Gunna's good.
And surprisingly, which it's not necessarily not my go-to, but I would say the new ESTG and 42 Doug has been like a surpriser.
Watch the trap.
Yeah.
That's what I'm calling it.
That
You can start glow over there.
that album is,
Man,
is
y'all
one of
gonna
those.
hear that this summer, man. We about to be outside with that for
That's
real.
one of those for sure. Oh, and then Fabio Foreign. That album is like surprisingly like
I finally got to spin
struggled,
it, and I was
man.
like, okay, all right, Fabio. I
struggled.
gotta go back again, but it was like good enough to where I'm gonna listen to it again.
But I think also it's because like that itch is so different than what I'm used to listening to. So like I'm like, oh, I love this.
it felt Don Delight though, but I guess that was intentional.
Oh.
He was still trying to like
Yeah, I'm sure there's
stay in
some-
that sound.
See, those would be like the three
It's some
right
of the
now.
better New York drill.
Yeah, by a
I've
long
heard.
shot.
Say that since Pop Smoke, yeah.
Yeah. I had a question. So, who do you feel like is a slept-on artist or an up-and-coming artist that people should lend their ear to right now at this time?
Oh man, that's a
a
lot,
lot of
them. I would say the ones that I listen to a lot would be Saw Baby, who's
He was just here, wasn't he? Or is he about to be here? Sada's either coming or just.
not Sada Baby. He's from Detroit. Saw Baby is from Atlanta.
Oh,
Wow.
But,
Okay.
he's kind of like
they have a problem.
Yeah,
They
you
looking
learn.
at
but he's like
somebody's infringing.
if you like Young Thug, you will listen to Saw Baby and be like, oh, this is kind of like a descendant.
A younger thug.
But I would say Saw Baby is kind of one of those artists. Is like his wordplay is very '07 Wayne, like where it's like the most ridiculous similes, metaphors, but it's amazing. I think after him would be definitely Yeet. He's a little bit trendy right now, but I think he has some legs. And then I think the third would probably be I'll say Joyce Rice. Like she just makes really, really good R&B music.
These are
Wow.
some names.
And Lil Sims.
Definitely some names.
Lil Sims.
Lil Sims.
Lil Sims.
It sounds as if he's
And
making
Steve,
these people
you
up.
say Yeet? Huh? You say Yeet?
Yeah, Yeet.
I've actually heard of Yeet. I have never heard the other two.
Saw Baby.
S-A-B-A-B-Y.
I've heard
Oh
of
yeah, SAHB.
Oh.
ABII.
Saw Baby. I've heard
Saw
of
Baby.
Joyce Wright. But Yeet sound like you just pulling shit out your
Yeah,
ass.
everybody look
So,
kid
so,
on
yeah, you
bullshit.
know, looking around the room.
Yeah.
Yeet and Little
Yeah.
Sims.
Lil Sims, she's from UK. So if you ever,
Hey, Ron.
yeah, she dropped her album last year.
She called me a trash man.
She was if you ever heard of Salt, her and Cleo Soul were both in that group.
Cleo
So,
Soul's super dope. I fuck
yeah.
with Cleo
So if you like Cleo Soul, you'll definitely like Lil Sims for sure.
He's
That's
what,
what's
he's
up,
what I
man.
used to be. I'm not that way anymore. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
man. Hey, Steve really about this shit.
How do you
If
find the time?
Make the time. Man, music comes out every Friday, so
It
like
does.
I just go through and like sift through Spotify, Apple. I like Spotify to find new music because sometimes they'll have your based on what you listen to. They'll have like your own personal recommendations. So then you go through look
You
at
put
them.
Spotify in the
You'll
flux
find
over
like
there.
the cheat codes to that is like you just go to the radio and you'll find other songs that from that artist or from
Similar.
that song.
I've become such a grumpy old man. Like, if it's not a project, bro, I'm not spinning it.
I can respect that.
Like, I don't even listen to singles like that.
I don't. I used to listen to singles like one-off songs as a kid, but now if I know it's an album coming out, I won't listen to it. Like, or I won't listen to singles.
I'm
Like,
saying
you know,
what? They make fun of me for that.
Like, the
What
only
if there's
person
no
I-
album coming out?
Huh?
What if there's no album?
Then I get around to it.
Like,
But I
did
feel like
you-
if you have and I don't know if the music's changed or I changed, but it's like if you have a single, and I feel like if I respect you as an artist, I know that song has a place on your album, and I want to hear it the way you intended it to be, versus getting it wore out 3 months before the album comes out, and then when I hear an album, I don't care about it anymore.
Yeah, that's why I didn't
If it's
like
fire,
Views
it's
for
not
a
gonna
while.
run out.
I didn't like Views when they came out because of
Careful.
that.
Unfold your hand, man.
No, but in retrospect, it's heat.
Oh, it's literally probably top 3 Drake projects.
We could talk about it.
For sure.
No, that's real though. So I want to kind of talk about the evolution of Pitch for Pennies, what you've been doing for the city. You know, not only do you have the party, which is phenomenal, you've also then broke that into to Beat Me. You at times have written blogs.
Oh yeah.
Or curated playlists. You've had podcasts.
Yeah.
Why is it and your marketing is amazing as well. You have newsletters, you know what I mean? The messaging from Steve Pitch for Pennies from his team is very unique as well. Why do you put all that intention into what you're trying to do? Where does that come from for you?
Seeing that there's not a whole lot of intention when it comes to people doing things here. And some people just like I would say like when I first started doing Lari, like it was just like people just do stuff. And then even people like as Lari kind of ascended and you know notoriety, people like wanted to collab, and I was like, "Yo, I would love to collab with you. I'm not opposed to work with anybody. It just has to be like at the end of the day, how does this add to people's lives in a way that you or I can't do?" So that's kind of where the intention is like, I want you to feel me, feel the brand, and understand it's like a human behind it. It's not like a corporate Fortune 500 company where they give you a blanket statement if we say something or we do something. Everything comes from mind, body, and soul. So it's just one of those things that I don't know any other way to do it.
And you've earned the right to be that way because, like we joked about earlier, like you got this out of the mud. Like niggas.
Yeah, your hands dirty, bro.
Yeah, like
no one knew who I was.
Exactly.
People still don't know.
I was trying to find a respectful way to say that. Like it wasn't like you were like this big head honcho nigga in the city. Like you came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
and was like, "Hey, I'm throwing a party and
build
said,
something."
Okay,
that's the thing that kind of
Sounds good to me.
I'll be there.
Yeah, it just kind of was. It's kind of better that way because for a long time I didn't. That was intentional too. Like I didn't want it to be about me. It's about the DJs having room to do what they want to do. And really, as it kind of evolved, I kind of started as, you know, reflect is like the whole goal is to get people from point A to point B. So if DJs that I knew couldn't get on at, you know, certain spots, it's like, well, then come over here. Like, don't waste your time trying to, you know, fight an uphill battle when it's like you got people here like myself that be like, yo, just come on in and we'll give you an opportunity and let's work together to kind of like grow together.
That's when I was supposed to wake up today.
So that's kind of the main ethos of it all.
That's real. Can we hear a little bit more about your creative process when you are creating these different ideas and bring them to fruition? You know, how did a Beat Me come about? You know, what else is out there that you're working on right now?
All the ideas I come up with just come from like, I really think about it, just traveling. Like having the luxury of traveling as a kid and like understanding like everybody across the country is really the same, but the differences are what make each area special and cool. It's like, all right, well, let's look at Indianapolis. What makes us cool? We're in the middle of America. So like we're the crossroads of America. And essentially my thing is like we're the crossroads of culture that's a good point. If that's the parallel.
Wow, that makes sense.
That's kind of one of those things where it's
melting
like
pot, if you will.
Yeah. I mean you have to come here if you drive in on a tour, like you have to drive through 465 to get north, west, south at some point. So my whole thought process was like, how do we leverage that and like bring that to the forefront? So all the ideas I come up with, it's about feeding that. So when I travel places and they ask me like, yo, you turned up, like, what do you do? Where you from? And I just tell them like, yo, I'm from Indianapolis and this is what I do. And they look at my Instagram and they're like, oh, damn, like you do like shit.
Niggas out there?
Yeah, that's the thing they say. They're like, we don't even know there's people out there. So a lot of that is like, how do we create concepts that stand on par with bigger city events? So there's stuff that like, you know, everyday people, Duce Palooza back in the day.
Damn, he called y'all niggas old.
No, I mean like they're older than me, but they're the ones that like paved the way for a lot of this stuff. So even Brunch Bounce back in the day. So and then you got newer parties now, like in Kentucky, you got Brunch and Beats that's in Louisville.
That's based out of Louisville.
Brunch and Beats, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Grits and biscuits.
yeah, grits and biscuits. You know, there's a lot of people who I looked at.
They can
like,
use some new DJs.
Oh, they need your help. They need some help.
you know, but the thing is, like, I looked at those as like references or proof of concept, or as people say, representation. Like, oh,
it can be done.
It can
it
be
can
done.
be done. You just got to be smart about what you're adding to the bigger conversation. And that's why I say it goes back to intention. Like, everything I done was to like, with the intention of like, all right, how do we think global but work local? And just make that the creative foundation of everything.
Got you. So I've been, you know, heard some birdies, something new was on the table this year.
What's that?
I mean, I'm hoping you're gonna tell us.
you let me
What
know.
Well, listen, this is a better question. What can we expect from you and the team this year, man?
Oh.
Any big things coming?
Oh yeah, probably the biggest thing, most ambitious thing that I've probably ever done in my life is Lari Pati is going on the road. We're doing our first tour. And
Hold on, let's not let them run. Round of
Don't let
applause,
that-
man. Hold on.
Yeah, throw some sounds on that, Mr. DJ, man.
For sure, man.
That's tight as fuck.
Tour
Like,
bus.
If you got a tour bus, that's wild.
I think if we had the cities in consecutive, like, day to day, I feel like we would be able to pull off a tour bus, but unfortunately that would not be happening. But we're definitely going to be traveling.
Who gets to go?
So that's the beauty of it. It's similar to in line with the beginning of Lari, how it all started, is really bringing DJs from Indy and bringing them on the road. Those
Will be named later.
will be named.
Okay, that's cool.
Okay,
We want to
okay.
keep it. We
Nah,
want
that's
to keep
cool.
it a surprise.
Keep it on tuck. That's cool.
I can give you, because this is an exclusive, I can give you guys the first date and what that lineup will be. First two
Got you.
dates. I know the first date will be in Chicago at the
Okay.
Promontory.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a good venue.
And we will be having someone who also was on this show, Vic Lloyd DJing.
Damn.
Oh.
And we'll have Just
wow.
One. He also DJing from Chicago. And then we'll be having Jamor, also known as the DJ J Skrilla,
Shout out
down
to
at
Frat.
IU.
Wow.
It's a frat brother of ours.
And GB, DJ GB,
Okay.
also
Shout out to
for that
GB.
first date. So I'm super excited about it because it's like, man, we're actually taking this next step. And even talking to Vic yesterday, him just giving me context. It's just the area.
Tell Vic to call us back. Man.
Yeah, for sure, man. We miss you, Vic.
He was just really helping. He was really supportive and super helpful. And it was just needed. And it was a breath of fresh air because this is something we need all the help we can get when it comes to this
Yeah.
tour.
It's
It's great to
any-
have a name where you going.
Yeah.
That's very smart, man. That's amazing. Congratulations to
Oh,
you on
thank
that
you.
shit.
You said you had the date too. When's the date?
May 21st.
May 21st.
Around the corner.
Yeah, about a month.
And what I think
Okay.
is so dope
That's a
about it
Saturday.
is like for me, like going to Lari, I've seen some of my favorite DJs do their best at Lari. It's like Madison Square Garden. like I've seen my favorite DJs in the city is Draft Pick, Boogie, Limelight. I've seen them all like really
Cut up.
lose their minds. And so, especially for someone I personally know like GB, this is a good opportunity. This might be, his PS
ascension.
de Resistance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He might go crazy, especially out of town.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I'm excited. And that was the really intentional thing too, is like during quarantine, no one knows this, but we were gonna announce this tour before
Damn.
We had stuff like
We
that.
had
Before
shit
this
too,
happened.
man. Man,
It's
it's
one of the
crazy,
best
man.
quarantine events
Oh
I ever.
hey, shout out
crazy.
to Brittany Harvey. She's the
out
one
to
that
Brittany
helped
Harvey.
put that together.
For sure.
Super kudos to her. And but I'll say like the intention of like bringing out more DJs that we haven't necessarily worked with all the time, and giving them opportunity to kind of go out. Like one DJ I feel like is super underrated in the city is No Filler. Like
Not him.
Wow.
his blends, his just the song selection, like it's just different. Like, and I feel like I don't know, it's one of those things. Just like my boy Kenny, who's in LA, it's like a similar. I don't know, just the energy where like it's hard to get on at certain places, and it's like you talented, so like just come roll with me. So he's also going to be on tour as well for our Detroit date. So I guess now it's a Detroit date too.
It's so cold in the D.
So hey, be careful up there.
So cold.
It's
Trust
so
me.
cold in the D.
Everybody
The 50
told
boys
me
is out.
that, but I love Detroit. Like
Detroit was super cool. It's just cold.
Yeah.
but the way it's kind of odd timing. They're having the Movement Festival, so it's like an electronic dance music festival. But Detroit is also the home of techno music. So
I didn't know that.
Wow, I didn't know this.
and
Thank
black
you.
people started techno music.
Really?
Wow.
Crazy.
Oh, well, black people started everything.
Yeah, all coming. So that's us.
Yeah. We started everything but colonialism.
Yeah, Nah, we probably on that shit in Africa too.
So
but
for
you know.
Detroit, we're gonna have
We just
what's it
called?
called? Detroit. We're gonna have Sky Jetta, who's
Okay.
back between Detroit and Chicago, and then Rose Spit, who's the owner
Wow.
of Rubber.
we had him on the
We
show
had
too.
on the show too.
Sir Roy
Hey,
Collins
man.
back as well.
Yeah, wrong. If you hearing this, Ro, we need you.
Yeah, call us back, bro.
It's crazy,
And then
man.
from the crib,
You going crazy, Steve. You going
we'll
crazy.
have, of course, No Filler, and then we'll have someone that was at the beginning of Lari, Brooke Billions,
Shout out to
Wow,
bro.
Bill,
Detroit.
who's going to
Wow.
be coming to Detroit.
Did we get
So,
the date for Detroit? Was Detroit?
the 28th. So we're going to do Chicago the 21st, May 21st, and then we'll do Chicago the week after for Memorial Day weekend.
Can we give a round of applause for Steve? Man?
Yes,
Thank you.
Wow.
y'all should get a bus.
This is
Fuck it.
crazy, man.
Get a bus and ride up there. Just 'cause. Honestly, shit.
Hey,
You should charge. I don't enjoy what to do, but you damn to charter a bus and get the city out there, get niggas away.
Crazy enough, not to put this person on the spot, I reached out to Kelly and to like, yo, can we
Can we
be
get a
nimble,
bus?
sponsor this? And also Gang too. I was like, hey, can we get the sponsor? So I would love to have them.
Speaking
like,
to existence, they could probably make it happen.
yes, if they listen to you, listen to this,
Manifest.
please.
Yeah, manifest that. Because I'm honestly chartering a bus.
Would love. Be
I think
awesome.
niggas are gonna show up for you anyway because it's love, but that makes it easier.
Yeah.
And you really, it's just crazy. It's beautiful, man, because you actually bring in the city, who helped start
With
this
you.
movement with you
Oh,
to this new experience.
Right.
And it's gonna be a party bus.
that's what I love. That's why I wanted that to
It's gonna be an
a thing.
impactful 2 hours up to Chicago.
Gotta bring your own bottles. Make it like a club cargo.
Wow.
Driver's gonna hate
LCP,
you
make it a
guys.
thing.
Shout out to Club Cargo.
The driver's gonna hate you niggas.
So yeah, that's the first 2 dates. But after that, we're in Atlanta, June 24th, and then we're in DC, July 15th. New York, July 23rd, and then LA, July 30th.
Now, Steve, is the intention then? I'm seeing a pattern here.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to do your best to tap into these, some artists, movers, and shakers in these cities, helping them be a part of your event. So you got Rose Spit,
Yeah.
you got Vic. Is that going to continue that pattern as you go to city to city?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, like I told both those guys, my whole intention is just like here. I'm big on being respectful whatever space I come into. So
Check in.
yeah.
You need to
Yeah,
call
for
what's his
sure.
name? Before you go to Detroit.
Trick.
Trick line.
The main thing is
Heard
like
you throwing a party in my city, nigga.
I remember talking to Ro. I was like, yo, my thing is whatever you need from me, I'm more than willing to be hospitable about whatever it is, because we're coming on your territory. You know this city better than I do. And so by us helping, you helping us, it's like I always you doing us a favor. And so to your question is like each city is kind of similar vein is like, hey, we want to make sure we tap in, but also at the same time we pay it back. So like bringing them here and like open up their market,
Wow.
because the same issues that we have here aren't solely in Indianapolis when it comes to getting on or doing this. Like
Right.
even talking to Vic yesterday, he was just like, yeah, there's people in even Chicago that'll be hating on what they've been able to build. And I was like, damn. I was like,
yes.
it's just kind of like crazy to me because outside looking in, it's like,
Think
Y'all
it's
got
love.
it. Y'all
Nah.
on.
shit is cooking.
Yeah.
But
Hated niggas marry hated bitches have hated
But I don't get it because I'm like, I'm
Because
thinking
you're not
like
a hater. You wouldn't understand.
I just can't. I don't want to, but it's just like
I don't understand haters either. But I've seen some out here. I was like, wow, that is literally a hater.
But it's kind of crazy because like it's room
Player
for
hater of the year.
Yeah,
but it's room for everybody though. Like
It
you don't
is.
have
It
to.
is.
You don't
Everybody
have to.
can eat.
But I think sometimes people want to be the person.
But I want to eat what you're eating. Everybody can eat. Why I gotta eat this shit over here? I want what you eating. You got steak.
Your knife is better
what
than
you
mine.
eat over there is probably really
I'm
tasty.
over here eating Salisbury steak. You eating steak, nigga.
Let's not disrespect.
It's both steak.
Yeah, there's levels.
Yours is a fillet.
Yeah, for sure.
Your grill line's different.
Yeah, man.
They painted mine on.
Mine got like gravy on it.
Yeah.
Like
Give
Mike
me some-
Todd
give me
spit
some
on
of
it.
your steak,
But
nigga.
they help me give me perspective on just like, yo, the shit that you experiencing or go through, it's not just
It's
your
not the
city.
new under
It's
the
every
sun.
city. So that's what I tell people, like when people say, oh, people don't support me in the city or whatever, it's like focus on where the love is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, cause those will be the people who help you grow, and you better off working with them because y'all can grow together. Because they also have things they doing too, and then you work together, and now you got a nice community going.
Got you.
What does your name mean?
My name?
Instagram name.
Pitch Penny. It's gonna sound so corny as I explain it, but you know the adage of work for pennies, right?
Mm-hmm.
So years ago, I was like, damn, how do I like brand myself? And I was like, well, I like pitching ideas. I be giving ideas away all the time. But I eventually was like, I have a sense of humor, so I'm like, let me just put a picture of pennies.
It works.
It does make sense.
Yeah, that
I'm
made
not mad at it. It's not corny either, actually.
Not according to all that.
That's
Makes
actually pretty
a
cool.
moniker.
Yeah, it's pretty tight. I guess my question for you is, you know, you've been a part of the movement in the city recently, the culture renaissance, if you will.
Oh yeah.
What is next, in your opinion, for the city of Indianapolis? What do you want to see? What do we need to continue to elevate
I would say
the culture? That is.
I would say continuity. I think to kind of give some context. So like 2019, after like around the time we had our 1 year anniversary, I put out this article called the Indianapolis Renaissance. And it was pretty much talking about the thesis, or the idea was just like, hey, how does the creative community be more than just like a selling point for developers and a place for the rich to be charitable to? Like, how do we actually become an economy that's respected? And I would say when it comes to the continuity piece, is like I pretty much laid out like a blueprint, if you will. Not the blueprint, but a blueprint for other creatives to kind of like, hey, if we do this, even if you don't create or produce anything, even if you're just a consumer, if you follow this kind of roadmap, it's no reason why if we work together, our city can't elevate as one.
Right.
So when it comes to that question of what I see in the future, I would like to see just more continuity, because once the day comes where the spotlight is on Indianapolis, now we already done the
All-star,
groundwork where everybody's clicking, everybody has their own things going, but also there's not hate or ill will.
That's
It's like,
synergy.
That's
The
gonna be there,
crossroads.
brother. I'm sorry to break it to you.
Huh?
Hate gonna be there.
yeah, I realized talking to Vic, like it's inevitable.
Yeah, it's gonna be there.
But the whole goal, what I want to see when it comes to that continuity is just like, how do we just elevate? Because once the spotlight's on, you don't want to get ready. You want to just be
You wanna
ready.
be ready
to
already.
Capitalize like All-Star Weekend.
The spotlight's actually coming. That's what I'm about to say.
Yeah,
It's on the
very
way
soon.
already.
So
They even
something
gave
like
niggas 2 more years.
They did. And we still
not ready.
you don't think so?
I mean, we are. I think we are.
No, Steven.
We're getting there.
We got the PreGame podcast.
Yeah, the pregame ain't
We
ready
do,
either.
but
The fact that if y'all don't have like a live podcast for that weekend,
Yeah, I know.
like every day updates, like, hey, Pacer player, this person, Mike
sure.
Epps, come and
You
talk
right.
to us live down at the circle.
Tell Mike to come. We've been asking.
He's gonna come.
Where you at, Mike? We don't know yet. Bring the day pack.
But nah, man, listen, man, round of applause for Pitch for Pennies, man.
Yeah.
Steve, man, iconic, doing
Thank you.
big things, taking Indianapolis on the road, which is crazy, man. No, is he just in it? It's crazy because you could easily have been like, yeah, we throwing a Lari party in Chicago on this day. You know, come up if you can. But nah, man, you're actually weaving Lari Pati into the city of Chicago with other movers and shakers from Chicago doing the same. That's amazing, man. Kudos to you on
Yeah.
that. You know what I'm saying?
I hope people
For
in these
sure.
other cities get to. I've been to some fire Laris, so hope everybody.
But that's kind of what it is too. Is we're starting new in a new market, so they don't know anything about us. And like even when I traveled these places before, it was clear that they don't know about it. So if you don't know about it, why would you even care?
Right.
So it's like my thing with the tour is like getting them to understand, like you can't, they're not gonna come to us, so we got to come to them and like not make them give a fuck, but just hey, we're here.
Yeah, niggas don't care.
They don't. So you gotta meet people where they are to show them like, hey, we have a point of view. And it's not just us. Hopefully, this is an inaugural tour, so we want to do this every year. And every year, we want to grow bigger, bring people like yourselves on the road, and essentially make it like an Indianapolis All-Star Weekend where you got Artway, you got Underground Sound, you got, you know...
Trying to get us robbed.
No, I'm just trying to make sure we come to these cities and be like, yo, it's a whole weekend of stuff.
Yeah, they all gonna be here this weekend.
Yeah, the Indianapolis or we're here. So that's the real goal.
We gotta bring our shooters too.
Hey, they're here.
They are.
You about to wrap it up, aren't you?
Yeah, but go ahead. What you got?
Well, so to me, I feel like we talked about your ascension, and we all like kind of laugh and joke about where you started from and where you've gotten to, but it obviously wasn't easy. So like, if you got like a little bit, kind of give some wisdom or some of the moments in which you bumped your head really hard in the party promoter part, because we need more people to come behind you and do the same thing, but they got to know it ain't all just, you know, hey, I threw a party and now I'm making money at parties. That's not how it goes.
That's a whole episode in itself. But I'll be concise. I would say that the wisdom I would give is just understand who you get involved with. Understand that, just make sure that they're on the same page that you're on. And if you're not on the same page, have that conversation and try to get to an agreement. If you can't, just cut your losses. Don't beat your head over trying to make something work that's clearly not working. And I would say it starts with, like, even with you guys, you have a good team here. Like, really understand everybody's desire in the team. Y'all all may want different things, but what is the overarching big picture that y'all both can agree on and fight for? Because at the end of the day, there's going to be ups and downs in the journey. But if one thing goes left and now you off the bus, you can't. That will show you that that person wasn't really on the same vision that you were on. And you can't. Your vision is your vision, but the bigger picture is hopefully something that y'all all can agree on. So I would say just make sure you know who you're working with and don't be mad at yourself if it don't work. You know, things happen.
Tight.
That's tight, man. Round of applause for Steve, man, for coming through, dropping gems, man. Man, it's a great ass interview. We appreciate you, Steve, man, for sure.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Pitch for pennies.
Pitch for
Lari
pennies, man.
Pati and Beat Me 143.
Yep.
There was one more. There was one. What was it called?
Lover Square. It was like a tester.
Yeah, okay.
Like a tester, but we're probably gonna bring that back out.
Blue cap. A little blue cap in the
Yeah, a
streets.
little tester to see how that works. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. A little more better.
I wish the Beat Me was on the weekend.
Yeah,
We're trying to make
I know.
Indianapolis a thing.
Yeah,
I know.
it's fire. It's fire.
I just don't have the luxury of going out during the week anymore. Which
Understandable.
it'd be tight if I could.
Boo-hoo,
Because I'll be there. Because
Boo-hoo.
You got DJ Solo show this week. He's one of my new favorite DJs. He's just I've heard him before. Shout out to Lauren and Chris. He played at their wedding. He did a great job.
Oh yeah, that was a great wedding.
We just
Wasn't
see
it?
we see him places.
Yeah.
Shout out to them egg rolls.
Best wedding I've been to.
You could be at a party, at a
Shout out
speaking
to-
engagement,
Shout out to some egg rolls. Okay.
a mural unveiling, a wedding, and Steve's just there.
Steve gonna be there.
Yeah, I'll be here. I'll be there.
He's Indianapolis
Also rare.
+1 at all times.
We was definitely in Memphis together. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good time, but
Indeed. Shout
I
out
know
to
the
Gus
Beat
and
Me's gonna be
Chicken, too.
fire. And I want to say the lineup is like Memphis rappers.
Oh, I didn't even tell him about the Beat Me thing. So yeah, people who haven't been privy to it, Beat Me 143 is pretty much TRL wants to Park, the best of. So you get to vote on the lineup and the music that you want to hear. Of course, we're gonna rock the party like any other party, but it's the only party in the country, let alone the city, that allows you to have control of what you want to hear without having to be, using touch tones and all that kind of stuff.
Hey, bro, could you
I have
Yeah, if you ever had a request from a DJ, this is the party for you. If you find yourself wanting to have requests, this is the party for you, because we put out a poll
That's
every
you
month.
probably get a little bursts of people like, oh, it's my song.
Hey, touch
All
tones
throughout
is
the
robbing people.
Oh, it's
I spent
criminal.
I spent a lot of money on touch tones before.
Just
I've
to
been trying
maybe
play the
hear your
music.
song.
Just you got to get in there early. You got to be there at
Just for
9 to get on the
of it.
touch tones.
So yeah, if you ever ever went to a DJ and wanted to hear something that they did wasn't playing, come to Beat Me. Follow this Lari page. We do the polls every month. And we're at Patron Saint the 4th Tuesday every month. So all this summer, come up, pull out.
Yeah, get them slushies.
Yeah, them slushies fire too. Let's move on,
I could do
man.
it Tuesday.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Look at you now. You're not going to work. You had 3-4 slushies. You acting up.
I got to go to work these days.
You
No days off.
definitely the pressure's on, buddy. That's crazy. Let's move on, man. Next.
Yes.
Next.